enhance employee benefits.
For happy beginnings to happy ever after, visit Britk.ky.
Britk, where people come first.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We're Cayman 27, Cayman Informed.
Coming up next.
A change in access to money ring-fenced in the UK's foreign aid budget. I'm Caroline James, and I'll have the latest on what that means for Cayman.
3 Irish visitors are nabbed for pretending to be government workers.
And the new AstroTurf at Edna Moyle Primary proves to be a frugal investment.
The sports community continued to rally behind one young man as he battles with cancer.
Breezy and beautiful. I'll let you know what night this weekend I'm describing coming up with forecast minutes.
I thought he was describing me. Cayman 27 News is coming up next.
Is back. Sign up for the Sports Pack today and fuel your passion for football. Sports is life, only on Flow.
Let Elite Marble and Granite bring the charm of Italy to your home. Made from only the best materials. Santa Margherita Quartz is handcrafted at a state-of-the-art facility located in Italy and then journeys across the ocean to Elite Marble and Granite, who is the exclusive distributor in the Caribbean. Elegant and resistant, Santa Margherita Quartz products offer a large choice of colors, textures, and exclusive finishes. Call 945-9028 or visit us online at elite.ky. Elite Marble and Granite, where perfection costs less.
You're watching Cayman 27 News, Cayman Informed. Brought to you by Foster's Food Fair. At Foster's Food Fair, we care. Flow.
Good evening, I'm Kevin Morales.
And I'm Kafar Augustin. Thank you for tuning in. Changes to the UK's foreign aid budget are set to bring much-needed access to disaster funding within the region, and Governor Martin Roper says the move is welcome.
Today, Mr. Roper spent his time touring our sister islands, learning about the issues affecting people there. Cayman 27's Caroline James joins us live to tell us more about his first week in office.
The governor has stressed since his arrival on Monday that he's very much in the listening mode when it comes to understanding the issues and concerns affecting people in Cayman. He told us how the UK's change to administering the UK's foreign aid budget benefit Cayman.
In his first news conference, Governor Martin Roper confirmed that the UK was successful in its bid to get the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development to allow overseas territories hit by natural disasters to access money ring-fenced for foreign aid.
So in the future, we will be able to use ODA budgets in disaster relief, which will include the Cayman Islands. So I think that's a really good example of how working together we can do even more.
After Irma and Maria struck the BVI and Turks and Caicos in 2017, the islands didn't qualify for official development assistance, ODA, because their national incomes were too high.
The OECD has changed its rules on using ODA budgets to help territories going through natural disasters. Last year, in the serious hurricanes, the UK wasn't able to use its ODA budget to help territories in disasters.
At this time of year, the hurricane threat is still a concern for Cayman, as is the looming Brexit deadline. Another potential storm cloud on the horizon.
Because this is a major issue facing the UK, and we're running up against the 31 March deadline. So I think it's clearly important, and it's clearly important for the overseas territories as well.
As a diplomat with a slew of international postings under his belt, it seemed only right to finish by asking him which had been his favourite.
Well, of course, the Cayman Islands has to be the answer I give to that, but I've only been here a relatively short period of time, but I've enjoyed all my postings, actually, and I think as a diplomat, what I found hugely motivating is having the opportunity to really get under the skin of a country, understand its culture, understand its people.
I also asked Mr. Roper about his previous role as ambassador to Algeria, where he led the British response to the In Amenas hostage crisis. He earned an OBE for his work there. There was criticism at the time that the Algerian government had been resistant to offers of help from its international counterparts, including those whose country citizens were caught up in the crisis. Criticism that was led at the time by the British Prime Minister, the then Prime Minister, I should say, David Cameron. Now, Mr. Roper told me that there had realistically been no hope of trying to persuade the Algerians to allow foreign troops in. He said it was important to respect a sovereign country's wishes in that situation. I'm Caroline James, Cayman 27, live at the Governor's House.
Thanks for that report, Caroline. And Cayman's new governor is finishing up his first week in office with a trip to Little Cayman and Cayman Brac today. We'll have highlights of the visit later in the show.
Mr. Roper was also pressed on one of the biggest debates of the moment, that, of course, being the proposed cruise berthing facility. The new governor said he was engaging with the government on this issue, but would not be drawn further.
This is primarily a matter for the government, and I mean, I think I have full trust in people like the Auditor General. So I think at the moment, all I will say is that I am talking to people in the government about that, but on day 4, I can't really add any more on that at the moment.
And continue to stay tuned to your #1 source for news here in Cayman, Cayman 27. We will have the new governor on live in the studio. That's happening next Wednesday.
2 men appeared in court in connection with Tuesday's wounding and collision in Georgetown. Ernie Ramon and Marvin Watson made their initial court appearances today on assault causing grievous bodily harm and causing fear of provocation of violence charges. Police say the men are behind a violent incident that left 1 man in the hospital. According to police, a man sustained a laceration to his head after a machete attack Wednesday night at a Shedden Road bar. They say the man fled the scene and was later hit by a car. He's in stable condition. 3 Irish visitors have been charged with impersonating government workers and taking money by deceit. The men, Patrick Sheridan, John Killigan, and David Gamble, all in their early 20s, appeared in court on Wednesday. They were charged with obtaining property by deception, impersonating a public officer, and working without a permit. According to police, the men went to a business place on North Church Street on Saturday, claiming to be employed by the National Roads Authority. They offered to paint the car park. The business owner later found out they were not employed here and reported them to the RCIPS. They were granted bail and they're due back in court next Tuesday.
After failing to get assistance from multiple sources, including government agencies, one East End mother of 4 is turning to the public to plead her case for help. Today, Cayman 27's Seaford Russell Jr. sat down with mother Jessica McFarland to talk about her struggles. He has a story.
I'm not going to be afraid to speak about it because living like this isn't something that I would wish on any mother.
East End resident Jessica McFarland is unemployed and lives in a small shack with her 4 kids. She says she's going through hard times and she needs help, but it seems her pleas are falling on deaf ears.
I went to NAU seeking assistance to get our lights turned back on. They turned me back.
She says her kids are her #1 priority.
Personally, I don't want my kids sleeping on the floor. My kids sleep in the bed, and I have an extra mattress that I sleep on the floor.
She says she also reached out to East End MLA Arden McLean.
I have reached out to Mr. Arden. Basically what he told me is, oh, you need to go fill out a form and put it in and see if somebody will help you, and that was it. I haven't heard anything back from him.
Ms. McFarlane criticized Mr. McLean for not looking out for the people of his district.
And I don't think it's right as an MLA that's supposed to be here for your people, or you were put there to be here for your people, and you're not. You're there for who you want to be there for.
Adding to her, Shreen is dealing with a child who was involved in a tragic collision. Her son was in the car in the East End fatal collision back in May 2017 that left 4 people dead.
Recently, he was in the car accident that happened in East End, a fatal car crash in East End, and he was in the trunk. And to me, he came out of everything, and he's still smiling. He's still the same old Joshua.
She says she does not have the support since Joshua's father passed away.
To me, Joshua has been through a lot. He's lost his father. He's had me there, but at the same time, he misses his father.
She says she hopes someone will come to her rescue and help her in her time of need. Seaford Russell, Cayman 27.
We reached out to the Needs Assessment Unit and East End MLA Arden McLean for a comment. We are yet to hear back. Joe Avery is out today. Jason Howard in for weather, wearing a very snappy suit.
I was going to say, it looks like maybe you and I were shopping at the same suit store.
We should just start planning all of our wardrobes every day together.
I like it. I like it. I'm not enough man to wear a bow tie though. I mean, that's exclusively yours.
Kev's thing. That's Kev's thing.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Great weekend in store for us weather-wise. You know, I got back from my vacation and came back to that great northeasterly breeze. It was gusting near 30 miles per hour. I thought, yes, the Christmas breeze is here.
Yes. And was it cold? You went to
freezing.
You went to Paris.
Yeah, we're in Paris and in London. It was.
Yeah, I saw you with jackets on, so it looks like it was
jackets,
really cold
scarves.
down there.
Everyone was blazer hating, but now I got my blazer back.
Nice.
And just in time, just hot again. So our weather's going to change a little bit this weekend. Going to deal with some showers. We'll dig into the forecast, let you know. Pirates Week, of course, kicking off in the BRAC.
Can you believe it? Pirates Week is here again.
Every year just goes by faster and faster.
Right.
It's crazy.
Cool. All right, Jason will be back in about 15 minutes with your full weather forecast. Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason. Edna Moyle Primary School students are already enjoying their newly installed playfield, and it came at little expense to the government.
Now, earlier this year, Mr. Ezard Miller, MLA for Northside, said that he would have to raise around $30,000 to make the project a success. But now the turf has been installed. Mr. Miller says that all that money was not necessary.
Well, the cost was very limited. The field was donated. All the labor was donated by the NRA guys who work in Northside. The material was donated by KP Quarry and Mr. Paul Borden and Andy's Quarry. So, and all of the labor was free.
The government will be adding a 4-lane track around the turf later this month.
And coming up right after this break, to stew turtle or not to stew turtle, the debate on Cayman's iconic dish continues.
New Governor Martin Roper touches down in the Sister Islands.
And prospective students get an up-close look at the best opportunities in the Great White North. Those stories and more right after this.
Cayman owned and operated since 1967. Paramount Carpets is a full-service operation beginning with material selection to the installation of finished products, as well as providing maintenance, service, and takes great pride in the quality of their work, making every effort to exceed customer expectations. Contact us today at 345-949-5000 or visit us at 317 Industrial Park, North Sound Road. Paramount Carpets. We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor.
Sometimes having a middleman is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to insurance. Do you know that when it comes to cost, ease, speed, and peace of mind, insurance brokers ranked higher than when customers buy direct? So, for all your insurance needs, call Fidelity Insurance. We're the middleman you want. Call us today at 949-7822. Fidelity. We're good for you.
Welcome back. It is Friday, and you know what that means. It's time to take a look at this week's top 5 web stories according to Cayman27.ky. Here's what we got. More than 2,100 of you, in fact, nearly 2,200, checked out our breaking news story on the unfortunate incident in Boddentown where a worker was killed near a quarry. Thieves caught on CCTV. That one got more than 1,100 views. Nearly 1,000 of you checked out our story about a body found in a Georgetown home. Police not suspecting any foul play in that incident. Just over 900 of you checked out our story about a personal import duty rises this week and a pedestrian in critical condition after a Georgetown collision. That got more than 800 views. Again, these are from last Friday to this Friday, according to Cayman27.ky.
No dish is more symbolic of Caymanian culture and heritage than turtle stew. Last month's National Trust cooking class focused on our national dish, but pictures from the event triggered an online backlash from some corners. Cayman 27's Joe Avery asked the question, can we have our turtle and eat it too?
Turtle and turtling has been going on since the 1700s, if not before. And it really forms an integral part of our cultural heritage.
And protecting that cultural heritage is part of the National Trust's mandate, says Executive Director Nadia Hardy.
We feel that we have to balance the needs of those who have been living here for centuries and centuries and centuries, as well as conservation.
And that could be a delicate balancing act. Photos of the Trust's turtle stew cooking class last month were met with backlash online from some who questioned how the National Trust could support the consumption of turtle meat.
We understand that people have this up in arms reaction that the National Trust is putting on this cooking class. But these series of cooking classes we are doing, we're promoting Cayman-style beef, traditional cassava cake, and turtle stew is part of this tradition, and especially around festive time.
Turtle stew and celebration go hand in hand. Cayman Bracker Simone Scott says the national dish was a central theme of Heritage Day at this year's Brack Heritage Autumn Festival.
So that's how turtle stew is now. It's only for festivities and stuff like that. Every once in a while, maybe someone will go to the turtle farm and buy something for their own family. But otherwise, it's mostly for festivities and so forth.
It's not something that you're finding on every street corner. And I believe, actually, it's a tradition that will slowly phase itself out.
Ms. Hardy says until that day comes, the National Trust will carry on with its dual mandate of protecting the history and biodiversity of the Cayman Islands.
It's a very fine line, and I know there'll be people, severe conservationists who will not get this. But we have to work within the parameters that we find ourselves, which is trying to balance our culture and tradition with, conservation. And we believe this is the way to do it.
Joe Avery, Cayman 27.
The National Trust says its popular turtle stew cooking class sourced farm-reared meat from the Cayman Turtle Center. The Trust cooking class series continues tomorrow morning at the Mission House. This month's featured dish is Cayman-style beef.
Always talking about food, right? Right at the end of the day for us.
Well, Governor Martin Roper and his wife Elizabeth are rounding up their first week in Cayman on the sister islands.
Today, the couple touched down in Little Cayman. They are touring both Little Cayman and Cayman Brack this weekend, and they were treated to a welcome reception this morning and a tour of Island Emergency Command Center, among other key sites.
You have so much to be proud of, and if I can make a small contribution in making things even better, I'd be very proud to do that. So thank you for such a warm welcome.
Tomorrow, the governor and his wife will participate in the Cayman Brack Cancer Society 5K stride, as well as tour the island.
Are you or members of your family thinking about following in Jordan Armenice's footsteps and attending university in Canada? Well, if you're not, the Canadian Trade Commission wants to change your mind. 10 Canadian schools are currently set up at the Cayman International School to tell you more about the opportunities on offer. Richard York of the Canadian High Commission explained why they're worth considering.
And it is a multicultural society, so people feel very welcome and included in Canada. Safe country as well. And the greatest thing is the quality of the education is on par with some of the best schools around the world. And finally, the cost. So the cost of studying in Canada is about 30 to 35% lower than it is in comparable schools in the US or the UK.
And the fair runs until 7 p.m. this evening, so there's still time to get down there. In fact, about 40 minutes if you're interested. Now, you can also find more about the EDU Canada on the EDU Canada website or on the Canada in Jamaica Facebook page. And speaking of, Jordan,
do it, kids.
Wait, you went to York University.
I didn't. I went to Brock University.
Brock
Go
University.
Badgers. I did it. I liked college so much I went twice. Okay, so
nice.
Yeah, well, college university.
But I think more importantly, and here's what we got to get out there.
What we got to get
back in grade 5 or so, eight. Jordan Armanese was named the athlete of the year.
Entire school.
Wow.
In the entire school.
At least 1,000 kids.
At least
there you go.
1,000.
Or
That's
200,
impressive.
whatever.
There you go.
But you know what? Another thing that is dear to most Canadians' hearts, hockey.
Very true.
Am I right? Here in Cayman, as you see in my coverage, there's a strong roller hockey community. They had their street hockey festival this weekend, and one youngster battling illness was very fortunate for their kindness. We got the story coming up.
We believe that every life matters and that we are all connected. One community, one people. We believe in compassion to give dignity to those that society has let down. We strive to conquer fear, and we believe that the power to heal is a gift. This is who we are. This is what we believe. Holy Cross.
Cayman 27 Sports is brought to you by Elite Marble and Granite, where perfection costs less.
Welcome back. Happy Friday. We start with football as the Cayman Islands Football Association under-20s prepare for their first match of the 2018 CONCACAF Under-20 Championship Sunday. Head coach Gilly Seymour says he feels the team's been underfunded and overlooked because of the mistakes made by the previous Football Association's leadership. Seymour says he doesn't understand why the team can't secure funding for even part of the team's travel. Seymour added the team left behind key members of staff due to that lack of funding, something he says is unfair punishment for former CIFA members' past transgressions.
I think it's about time that the young footballers stop being punished for the mistakes that Jeffrey Webb and Kunova Watson have made. We are an affluent society. We have a lot of great doctors. We have a lot of physiotherapists. We have a lot of these people in our country, and yet we're traveling to represent the Cayman Islands without a doctor because we don't have the funding. We even had to leave some of our staff behind.
All right, let's take a look at the schedule. The opening group stage game, of course, Sunday versus El Salvador. Then Guyana Tuesday, Guatemala Thursday, Curacao Saturday. The group winner moves on to the quarterfinals. 34 CONCACAF member associations vying to play at the 2019 U20 Men's World Cup Finals in Poland. All right. Switching gears, week 9 of Cayman 27's NFL Pick'ems Challenge is in the books. Last night, San Francisco 49ers third-string quarterback Nick Mullins lit up the Oakland Raiders at home. 34-3 the final. We check in on our own battle for football supremacy. Let's take a look. How are the people of the Pick'ems Challenge doing? Three-way tie for first place. Night Runner, It Ain't Shinty, and Who Dat Nation all at 79 points. Whopper sits in fourth, just 1 point behind, while myself, the sports guy, 10th. Most importantly, ahead of Kevin Morales, who sits in 14th. All right, switching gears once again. Many in Cayman over the past year have rallied around 7-year-old Felix Lubin as he continues to battle neuroblastoma. Now, Saturday was no different, except this fundraiser was about kids helping kids. And we've seen numerous times one kid has captured the hearts of Cayman's community.
Each year, when we're looking to hold the event, we throw around the ideas of the charities as to who might be the most needing at the time. And this year, because we have Felix in this position, so we've got a family who's a current hockey family in the position, then that's where we thought that was where the funds were best directed towards.
And since 7-year-old Felix Lubin's cancer diagnosis in December 2017, the Cayman community has responded in overwhelming fashion.
They genuinely never thought there'd be this much support. Here we are, a little island in the Caribbean, small population, and people have been so generous in their time, in their financial contribution, and their love and support.
But the 8th annual street hockey tournament saw kids of the hockey community helping one of their own. And Felix is digging the puck of the corner of his young life.
He's got a good fight, and he's been fighting a good fight the last 10 months, but he's still got a fair way to go.
And when Felix returns to the rink, Cayman's hockey community hope to greet him just like this.
Felix, let's go! Let's go, Felix! Let's go! Let's go, Felix!
Organizers say over the past year, a total of over $100,000 has been raised for the Lubin family. All right, Jason Howard's got your weather next to ground.
Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa. Discover the difference.
We're not just the most reliable energy service in the Caribbean. Whether it's for your entertainment, lighting a path to your future, or making sure that you and your family are secure. We're there for you when it matters most. Your safety and our reliability are our top priority. We are committed to remaining the #1 utility service in the Caribbean. We are CUC.
Champion House Restaurant, serving Cayman for over 30 years. Start your day off right with our breakfast, fruits, pastries, hot cereals, entree, and so much more. Stop by for lunch. Our buffet offers salad, soup, entrees, and desserts. Check out our website for details on our new dinner menu. And don't forget about catering. We can customize any menu to suit your needs. Champion House Restaurant, where the islanders dine.
It's fresh. Fresh from the garden.
It's that turkey time of year, and Hurley's once again offers the finest pre-cooked turkey dinners in Cayman for Thanksgiving. Get a tender, juicy, oven-roasted turkey with 7 freshly made, savory sides, ready for you to enjoy at the office or at home. It's enough to feed a family of 12 for about $11 each. Don't be left out. Hurley's only makes a limited number of our Thanksgiving feasts. Order yours today at hurleys.ky/ordering. Hurley's, get fresh Thanksgiving with us.
Oh, hey guys, it's Jason in for Joe, who's got a much-deserved night off. Let's jump right into the satellite. I want to focus in on Cayman Brac, obviously, because that's where the Pirates Week festivities are kicking off. And you can see, aside from the threat of what looks like some pea soup precipitation, we should stay mostly dry over there. Let's just take a quick look at the rest of the night for us here on Grand Cayman. We had that sunset just before we came on the air. Looks like for the rest of the night, some off and on showers popping up, maybe like around 8, 9, we should be dry, 10, drying out again. So really a mixed bag for this evening. As far as the rest of the weekend goes, I think we're gonna see some showers mixed with some sunshine tomorrow. A pretty decent day. We're gonna start off wet, have some dry spots, some sunshine mixed in, then some more showers. The highlight of the weekend, though, is tomorrow night. Saturday night, if you're heading out to that CCMI Gala at Grand Old House, I'll see you there. It's going to be a perfect night. Great breeze out of the east-northeast. Just gorgeous. A low tomorrow of about 82. Sunday, again, another one of those mixos. Going to start off nice and breezy. Showers move in around noon. And then the wet stuff takes us into Sunday night. We'll take a look at the extended forecast in just a couple seconds. Let's bring up my weather spotter shot. Came to me from my friend Charlie. She's a nurse who took a little diving vacation, took a great picture of the waterfront there. Look at those boats. Nice shot, nurse. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Jason. Works of art from nearly 24 artists went on the auction block to support the National Gallery. The Big Art Auction 5 took place last night at the National Gallery.
Volunteer auctioneer Philip Pachiletis hosted the Sotheby's-style auction, where attendees engaged in some spirited bidding. Final sale prices on the 23 pieces ranged from $1,800 to $6,000.
This is a major fundraiser for the National Gallery. It's one of 3 that we do each year, and we're just going to have some fun tonight. We're going to raise some money for the National Collection and art-related programs for people of all ages, and it's a great turnout.
Proceeds from the Big Art Auction 5 are split 50-50 between the National Gallery and the artists to ensure the project remains sustainable and of benefit to both parties.
Coming up in the second half hour of Cayman 27 News, we talk with a team from the University College of the Cayman Islands on their plans ahead for the university.
And remember to WhatsApp us any photos, videos, or news tips. You can reach us at 527-2727. That's the news hotline. We'll be right back.
Ever wondered what smart health insurance feels like?
Premier Health's 24/7 worldwide health insurance does most of the thinking for you.
1,500 CGI health claims are settled daily.
55% of claims settled automatically.
You can access your health plan almost anywhere, anytime.
And have smart wellness with online data tracking.
And more provider choices for you and the people who matter most.
Premier Health is smart health insurance, and it feels good.
Brit-K, where people come first.
Get the quality, the service, the wide range of products in the Brac. Everything you love about Paramount Carpets is now available on Cayman Brac. Carpets, flooring, drywall, paints, windows and doors, lumber, from plumbing to electrical supplies. You'll find it all and a whole lot more at Paramount Carpets, Cayman Brac.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount Carpets.
A tropical storm watch has been upgraded to a warning.
Hey, I've been tracking the storm, and it's looking really dangerous.
Yeah.
You're in a new place. Gotta prepare. No, put that down. You need canned goods, not canned
I get it.
soda and
yes,
water.
Sis,
You need plenty
water.
of water.
Here, water. Oh, gosh. Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to get ready for this.
Is it your first time?
Yes.
Do you need a hurricane buddy?
Please.
All right, come on. I prefer bigger bottles.
Kind of shame it took a hurricane for us to finally hang out.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, sis, kind of bad time.
Hey, good news. The hurricane warning's been lifted. I saw online the storm has changed direction.
Oh, so I guess you get to go back to your place now.
Where are you? That's not your apartment.
Please pick the flowers.
Bye, neighbor.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Cayman 27 News. I'm Kevin Morales. Joining me for our big story segment tonight, I'm very excited to have these two on. UCCI President Mr. Roy Bodden to the far left over here. And in the middle here, we've got Dr. Belle Whelan, who gave an amazing speech last night at the commencement ceremony. I think all the graduates really enjoyed it, and I was telling you in the commercial break that I literally laughed out loud while I was listening to you, and I know there are lots of laughs in the audience as well. So tell me a little bit, Ms. Whelan, about why you came down here and decided to speak with these graduates.
One of the employees at the university had heard me speak at a meeting in the United States, and I got a call, and I had no idea until I got here who had recommended that I come. And I enjoy speaking. I certainly enjoy meeting with students, and I had never been here before, so I said, let me think. Yes.
You're right. So I've been asked to give a graduation speech before, and I didn't quite know what to say. But yours is very poignant. You hit on a lot of what I would consider very important life lessons. What did you decide you wanted to get across as key messages?
Well, many of the things that I spoke about are things that parents have been trying to teach their children forever, and certainly the faculty have been trying to reinforce when they were there. Things like never stop learning. It is a lifelong phenomenon. Always ask questions, no matter how silly they may sound. Give back. You know, they've been very blessed to have the opportunities they've had, and so don't forget that there are others who would like those same opportunities. So things like that.
And Mr. Bodden, do you think that the speech, and not to say that your speeches also were not funny, I also laughed at, you know, at certain moments, yours were very entertaining as well. Do you think that the messages get through to these youngsters, you know, when you're trying to pass upon important life lessons, are they hitting home? Are they being absorbed?
Oh, absolutely. Much of them are being absorbed. We see it in the attitudes of the graduates, of the alumni. So we engage them, and we know that they remember much of what was said to them at commencement.
What is it like for you? This is not your first rodeo. What is it like for you when you see those students walking across the stage, and shaking hands, getting their diplomas or their honor? What is that feeling like for you?
Well, I'm a lifelong educator, and so for me, that gives me a sense of satisfaction. Last night was particularly poignant because that's my last commencement as president. So I was pondering the significance of it, you know, and trying to decide what kind of future these young people are coming into, and will any of them take up the role of one day being a university president themselves.
And do you remember being there, and this is for both of you, do either of you remember being their age and maybe going through some of the struggles or some of the issues that they're going through? And what would, again, just for those maybe who didn't tune in or weren't there last night, what are some of the things that you would say they need to do to, you know, one day become the UCCI president, et cetera?
Well, the first thing I told them is that they need to be prepared, and that this degree they had earned was the first step in that, but certainly not the only step. They needed life experiences, more education, people in the right place who can see them and help move them along.
Mr. Bodden?
And I also like to impress upon my students the whole notion of giving something back. It's important to return to your community, to return to your neighborhood, to return to the friends you had who are not doing as well as you are doing, and to offer a helping hand.
What point do you think that might click in a young person's head? You know, because you can hear that, and people can tell you that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the lifestyle that you immediately start living. What does it take in life for you to really kind of take some of these lessons that people have told you and make them reality in your life?
Well, I think one of the messages I tried to bring was that they didn't get there by themselves, that the family and friends who were in the audience, the faculty who were there, and the administrators, they were all there to get them to that point and would continue to be there for them, and they needed to remember that and remember to say thank you.
Absolutely. Mr.
And I tell them, even with their education, it only allows them a certain amount of independence. So they will need friends, they will need supporters, because they will come across challenges that their college degree might not necessarily take them out of. But they can benefit from the experience of others, and sometimes it's the experience of people who have never been to college.
We got to go pretty soon. My producer's telling me we have to go, but I've only got a couple more minutes with you, so I need to ask you this. Looking back in your career in academia, what are some of the highlights? Or is there, you know, one or two things that really stand out to you of highlights of your career?
Well, I think a highlight is definitely my coming to UCCI, because it was a position to which I had aspired earlier but wasn't successful. I also realized that it was ordained, because when I came to UCCI, I came at the right time. I could do a lot of things that I wanted to do that I thought was worth doing, and I didn't have to worry about certain pressures.
And let me ask this too as well. Sorry, guys. We talked about you always continue learning. Do you two continue to learn from students as well? And what are some of the things that you learn, well, if so?
I have a 34-year-old son who is the technology guru, and every time I call him for a question, he'll say, yes, I remember you had to teach me how to eat with a spoon, so I have to help you with technology.
Right. Nice trade-off, yeah, exactly. And Mr. Biden, we'll wrap with you.
Yeah, my children are all in their 20s and 30s, so I learned from them about the challenges they have growing up, and we trade stories, and funnily enough, many of the challenges are similar.
Yeah? Well, we got to leave it there. Let me just thank you on behalf of the people of Cayman and the students there last night, and the crew who, again, very much enjoyed last night's event. Thank you so much for your time and the effort that you put into this. It's much appreciated.
And thank you for supporting us.
Of course,
no problem. We look forward to a partnership.
Perfect. Don't go anywhere. We've got more news coming up right after this break.
A timely response. That matters. Owning your own home, that matters. Supporting our community, that matters. When your child smiles, that matters. Good encounters, great experiences, it matters at Cayman National.
From happy beginnings and life choices that we make along the way,
Brit K protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
Family protection and long-term financial plans.
Business insurance and generous employee benefits.
For happy beginnings to happy ever after, visit BritK.ky.
Brit K, where people come first.
Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa. Discover the difference.
Welcome back. It's time for a check from Wall Street. U.S. stocks ended a three-day rally today. As Reuters' Fred Katayama reports, Apple shares dropped following a disappointing outlook, and the White House dampened optimism over U.S.-China trade talks.
Wall Street snapped its three-day winning streak on Friday, despite strong economic data. Apple's disappointing outlook dragged down the major indexes, and White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow deflated optimism over U.S.-China trade talks. Adding to the selling pressure, the sharp rebound in U.S. jobs growth in October and surge in wages. That robust data could encourage the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates again in December. First Franklin Financial Services Chief Market Strategist Brett Ewing.
Good news became bad news. I mean, as soon as the jobs report rolled out, I think that that hot inflation on the wage year over year, 3.1%. I think market participants looked at that and said, well, there goes possible pause with the Fed, and the market's not very happy about it.
Apple shares dropped, pulling the iPhone maker's valuation below $1 trillion. The company warned sales for the key holiday quarter could fall short of expectations. Starbucks shares soared. The coffee chain's quarterly same-store sales grew well above analyst expectations. It was able to charge higher prices to customers in the U.S. and China. European shares closed mostly higher, ending their best week since December of 2016.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
We're not just the most reliable energy service in the Caribbean. Whether it's for your entertainment, lighting a path to your future, or making sure that you and your family are secure. We're there for you when it matters most. Your safety and our reliability are our top priority. we are committed to remaining the #1 utility service in the Caribbean. We are CUC.
Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited are professional, independent insurance brokers established in 1988. We are a wholly Caymanian-owned insurance broker with a wealth of knowledge in the local and international insurance market. Our professional team service clients with a range of insurance products, including motor, home, health, contractors, marine, and business insurance, among others. Contact us at 949-0579 or email us at service@bogleins.com.
Central American migrants began their trek northward once again today, even as U.S. President Donald Trump issued a fresh round of threats of a crackdown. Setting out in the still of the night, thousands of Central American migrants left yesterday. President Trump said his administration planned to require immigrants seeking asylum to come into the country through a legal port of entry.
In regional news, President-elect Jair Bolsonaro says he saw no problem in possibly moving the country's embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. It's a platform he had protected during promoted during his campaign. Earlier this week, Bolsonaro confirmed that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had congratulated him on his electoral success, and officials in the Bolsonaro camp have confirmed the country's next president is due to visit Israel next year after taking office.
Don't go anywhere. We've got another check on your forecast right after this.
Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa presents Beautiful You every second and last Thursday of the month. The beauty experts will draw from experience and share tips for personal beauty care, how to have healthy hair and glowing skin, flawless makeup application, and the latest trends and style tips. Watch Cayman 27 every second and last Thursday of the month for Beautiful You. Brought to you by Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa.
Champion House Restaurant, serving Cayman for over 30 years. Start your day off right with our breakfast, fruits, pastries, hot cereals, entree, and so much more. Stop by for lunch. Our buffet offers salads, soup, entrees, and desserts. Check out our website for details on our new dinner menu. And don't forget about catering. We can customize any menu to suit your needs. Champion House Restaurant, where the islanders dine.
Is back. Sign up for the Sports Pack today and fuel your passion for football. Sports is life, only on Flow.
Hey guys, welcome back. Jason in for Joe, who hopefully is enjoying a night off. Want to take a look at the satellite imagery, kind of showing our neck of the woods. You know, we're kind of down over in this area right here. You can see nice big pocket of dry skies, which is good, but don't think that means not necessarily no rain. We do have the risk of some showers overnight tonight for a good part of tomorrow, as these showers kind of down in this Jamaica area eventually make their way over towards us. We'll see some isolated showers. Nothing major, nothing all day, which is the good news, especially for those of you celebrating Pirates Week over in the BRAC. Let's take a look at the numbers here in Grand Cayman. Over there, there's Cayman right there at 88. How about the Sisters? There they are, 88, 88. Easiest forecast to read in the world. Over there in the BRAC, getting ready for Pirates Parade tomorrow. And of course, we do the East End today. More celebrations coming back to Grand Cayman next week. Let's talk about next week. Take a look at the extended forecast. Like we're saying tonight, we'll see a couple isolated showers. Nothing major, decent night. Tomorrow night is going to be great. We may see a couple of showers tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Once those move out of the way, though, tomorrow night, perfect. CCMI, the Festival of the Seas Gala, Grand Ole House. I'll see you guys there. Should be a beauty. Great breeze tomorrow night. Sunday, some off and on showers as we round out the weekend. And then next week shaping up to be okay. You're going to see mostly dry skies for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And let us not forget, we're back to the long weekends. Remembrance Weekend, of course, Monday, or Pirates Weekend, whatever you're doing to celebrate. Make sure you get out and enjoy those beautiful temperatures. All right, coming back with more next.
Hi, I'm Jordan Telford. I'm the master distiller for Tortuga Rum Company. I'm a born Caymanian, and I'm very proud to say that I'm producing an exceptional quality rum that's completely handmade, start to finish, distilled, bottled, and blended right here in Grand Cayman for Tortuga Rum Company.
We're not just the most reliable energy service in the Caribbean. Whether it's for your entertainment, lighting a path to your future, or making sure that you and your family are secure. We're there for you when it matters most. Your safety and our reliability are our top priority. We are committed to remaining the #1 utility service in the Caribbean. We are CUC.
Some say the time of miracles is past, but we see miracles all around us, every day. Some could not walk. Some could not breathe. Some had lost all hope. But something amazing happened. Something that can't be analyzed or quantified. Something that is more than good medicine. Holy Cross.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount. Carpet, any style, carpet or tile, insulation and drywall too. Everything's beautiful, come and see. The Paramount name means quality. It'll be a brand new world under your feet. We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount. Carpet.
Welcome back. Joining me now, Stingray Swim Club head coach Dave Pursley. A big week for Stingray. Sarah Jackson announced that she's going to Northern Colorado. And now Kenneth Glidden is headed to McKendree to join John Bodden and Cole Morgan, 2 other Stingray swimmers. First things first, tell us a little bit about Kenneth Glidden and him going to McKendree, his development. What have you liked about Kenneth swimming going into this new opportunity for him now in January?
Well, this is huge for Kenneth. This is something I don't think anybody could have seen coming, not even him. About 3 years ago, he was the oldest in the group by 3 years, and it didn't look like he was gonna, he was doing it, he was involved, he was having a great time, but college swimming wasn't something that was on the radar. So for him to have made the progress he has just is a big testament to his commitment and all the hard work he's put in.
And for people that aren't familiar with Kenneth, what are his fortes? What are his strengths in the pool?
He is a breaststroker through and through. So he's got a really long body that helps him keep his stroke count low, and he's getting more and more power every year. So.
And what's going to be an advantage, obviously joining John Bodden, who just started there, Cole Morgan, who's been there a handful of years. Is that to his advantage to have the Cayman connection in Illinois down in McKendree?
Absolutely. It's a coach that I've known my whole life that I trust, that has done incredible things. He was at Northwestern University before McKendree. And so to see 3 of the swimmers go on to him, I know he's in great hands. And obviously he's going to have an immediate connection with the team with the other 2 boys there, so it should be a good camaraderie between them.
And then the big news, a few days past, Sarah Jackson headed to Northern Colorado. You guys did the altitude training there. Obviously, part of the plan for you as the head coach is to open up those channels, those opportunities for your swimmers. And head coach Lisa Ebling and the staff over at Northern Colorado, they liked what they saw. And Sarah's going to UNC. How do you feel about that?
That's awesome. I think it's a perfect fit for Sarah. She's going to do great on the team. There's actually another girl from the Caribbean, from Bermuda, Madeline Moore, is out there right now, and she's doing great so far. So I think this is a huge step forward. I mean, now we're looking at, for Cayman swimming in total, we've got 7 swimmers in college. That's massive. It's big progress.
What is Stingray doing right? You know, what's the key to creating the pipelines for your athletes to be able to get them these opportunities?
Well, first is putting in the work, and the kid has to make the commitment that themselves, and they've got to put in that work, and they've got to make that progress and show that they are a Division I level athlete, or to show that they can make that commitment, because there's no scrubs that are walking into college sports. You've got to be able to commit to the sport. So once they do that, then it's just a matter of exposing them, and we hit the emails hard. We go every school across the country trying to find fits and trying to use every connection we have, and somehow it's working out.
And the work, of course, like you said, for the athlete, they need to have the grades. They need to be able to be prepared to do the work as well themselves, so that when those opportunities come up, they need to be able to meet the criteria academically and in the pool, yes?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's a huge thing we push here at Stingray. I mean, our senior group the last 2 years has had over a 3.2 average GPA, and they're committed academically, and they know what it takes to get to that next level. So it's not just swimming. They have to be on top of things outside the pool as well.
Good stuff going on. Head coach Stingray, Dave Pursley, big week for the program. Kenneth Glidden headed to McKendree, and now Sarah Jackson going to Northern Colorado. Congrats, coach. Keep up the good work.
All right, thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very
Jordan.
much, Jordan. So that is going to wrap up our newscast, not only for tonight, but for the week. You got any birthdays?
You have not been on all week, so I just want to say welcome back for the week.
Thank you. It feels good. I know they got me running around like crazy, but actually, no, last night I was directing for the live broadcast at the UCCI graduation ceremony, and it actually was super entertaining. Dr. Whelan, who was on, gave a super entertaining speech about all those life lessons she was talking about. And one of the things, and I hope I don't mash up the story, I'm probably going to, but one of the things she talked about was there are no dumb questions. And she said that the example she gave was she was at a conference or something, and somebody raised their hand and asked the question in front of a bunch of other people. Something about, I think it was pregnant women. They were talking about pregnancy, and she was like, the woman asked a question, well, when breastfeeding, do black women give chocolate milk, right? And of course, like some people, she said, some people were just like, oh my God, like what kind of a question is that? And then other people just kind of had a chuckle at it. And she said the thing that was like, that she liked the best was that some people were like, huh, I wonder if that's possible, right? And it got kind of like the gears turning, and like people started thinking about like, I wonder if we could invent, you know, something that made that happen. So anyways, she was saying no stupid questions, because even what might appear to be a stupid question could actually lead to something good down the road and some innovation, right? Because what you think might be impossible one day doesn't, you know, is possible another day. So.
We're running out of time, but before we leave tonight, I want to say a special good night to a gentleman from the Turks and Caicos who's actually on island, but he stopped me today and said, hey, I've been watching you on TV, so good night. And thank you for watching.
Well, what is this gentleman's name?
I don't have his name, but
oh,
yes,
that's why we, okay. Yes. Well, and a good night to you, sir. All right, thanks so much for watching. Go to Cayman27.ky throughout the weekend. We'll be back Monday.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited are professional, independent insurance brokers established in 1988. We are a wholly Caymanian-owned insurance broker with a wealth of knowledge in the local and international insurance market. Our professional team service clients with a range of insurance products, including motor, home, health, contractors, marine, and business insurance, among others. Contact us at 949-0579 or email us at service@bogleins.com.
Have you had your Tortuga moment today? Come by Tortuga Fine Wine and Spirits for all your liquor needs and taste the world-famous Tortuga rum and rum cake. Always delicious and baked fresh daily in the captivating Cayman Islands. With ongoing renovations at the airport, we invite you to shop our stores and buy before you fly. Relive the Cayman Islands in every bite.
It's that time of year again for the annual Cayman 27 Parade of Lights, brought to you by Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited. We're calling all boats to join us Saturday, December 1st at Camana Bay as the water comes to life with this year's theme, Christmas Around the World. It's completely free to enter, and there's a chance to win $1,000 and 2 general admission tickets to Kaboom. Or enter just for fun. Private and commercial boats are welcome. For more information and to register your boat, click on cayman27.ky.
Ever wondered what smart health insurance feels like?
Premier Health's 24/7 worldwide health insurance does most of the thinking for you.
1,500 CGI health claims are settled daily.
55% of claims settled automatically.
You can access your health plan almost anywhere, anytime.
And have smart wellness with online data tracking.
And more provider choices for you and the people who matter most.
Premier Health is smart health insurance, and it feels good.
Brit K, where people come first.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We're Cayman 27, Cayman Informed.
Coming up next.
A change in access to money ring-fenced in the UK's foreign aid budget. I'm Caroline James, and I'll have the latest on what that means for Cayman.
3 Irish visitors are nabbed for pretending to be government workers.
And the new AstroTurf at Edna Moyle Primary proves to be a frugal investment.
The sports community continued to rally behind one young man as he battles with cancer.
Breezy and beautiful. I'll let you know what night this weekend I'm describing coming up with forecast minutes.
I thought he was describing me. Cayman 27 News is coming up next.
Ever wondered what smart health insurance feels like?
Premier Health's 24/7 worldwide health insurance does most of the thinking for you.
1,500 CGI health claims are settled daily.
55% of claims settled automatically.
You can access your health plan almost anywhere, anytime.
And have smart wellness with online data tracking.
And more provider choices for you and the people who matter most.
Premier Health is smart health insurance, and it feels good.
Brit K, where people come first.
Some say the time of miracles is past, but we see miracles all around us, every day. Some could not walk. Some could not breathe. Some had lost all hope. But something amazing happened. Something that can't be analyzed or quantified. Something that is more than good medicine. Holy Cross.
Sometimes having a middleman is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to insurance. Do you know that when it comes to cost, ease, speed, and peace of mind, insurance brokers ranked higher than when customers buy direct? So, for all your insurance needs, call Fidelity Insurance. We're the middleman you want. Call us today at 949-7822. Fidelity. We're good for you.
You're watching Cayman 27 News, Cayman Informed. Brought to you by Foster's Food Fair. At Foster's Food Fair, we care. Flow.
Good evening, I'm Kevin Morales.
And I'm Kafar Augustin. Thank you for tuning in. Changes to the UK's foreign aid budget are set to bring much-needed access to disaster funding within the region, and Governor Martin Roper says the move is welcome.
Today, Mr. Roper spent his time touring our sister islands, learning about the issues affecting people there. Cayman 27's Caroline James joins us live to tell us more about his first week in office.
The governor governor has stressed since his arrival on Monday that he's very much in the listening mode when it comes to understanding the issues and concerns affecting people in Cayman. He told us how the UK's change to administering the UK's foreign aid budget benefit Cayman.
In his first news conference, Governor Martin Roper confirmed that the UK was successful in its bid to get the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development to allow overseas territories hit by natural disasters to access money ring-fenced for foreign aid.
So in the future, we will be able to use ODA budgets in disaster relief, which will include the Cayman Islands. So I think that's a really good example of how working together we can do even more.
After Irma and Maria struck the BVI and Turks and Caicos in 2017, the islands didn't qualify for official development assistance, ODA, because their national incomes were too high.
The OECD has changed its rules on using ODA budgets to help territories going through natural disasters. Last year, in the serious hurricanes, the UK wasn't able to use its ODA budget to help territories in disasters.
At this time of year, the hurricane threat is still a concern for Cayman, as is the looming Brexit deadline, another potential storm cloud on the horizon.
Because this is a major issue facing the UK, and we're running up against the 31 March deadline. So I think it's clearly important, and it's clearly important for the overseas territories as well.
As a diplomat with a slew of international postings under his belt, it seemed only right to finish by asking him which had been his favourite.
Well, of course, the Cayman Islands has to be the answer I give to that, but I've only been here a relatively short period of time, but I've enjoyed all my postings, actually, and I think as a diplomat, what I found hugely motivating is having the opportunity to really get under the skin of a country, understand its culture, understand its people.
I also asked Mr. Roper about his previous role as ambassador to Algeria, where he led the British response to the In Amenas hostage crisis. He earned an OBE for his work there. There was criticism at the time that the Algerian government had been resistant to offers of help from its international counterparts, including those whose country citizens were caught up in the crisis. Criticism that was led at the time by the British Prime Minister, the then Prime Minister, I should say, David Cameron. Now, Mr. Roper told me that there had realistically been no hope of trying to persuade the Algerians to allow foreign troops in. He said it was important to respect a sovereign country's wishes in that situation. I'm Caroline James, Cayman 27, live at the Governor's House.
Thanks for that report, Caroline. And Cayman's new governor is finishing up his first week in office with a trip to Little Cayman and Cayman Brac today. We'll have highlights of the visit later in the show.
Mr. Roper was also pressed on one of the biggest debates of the moment, that, of course, being the proposed cruise berthing facility. The new governor said he was engaging with the government on this issue, but would not be drawn further.
This is primarily a matter for the government, and I mean,